Welcome to another episode of the Sipping and Tripping podcast, where we connect with amazing people. Today's topic is just a celebration of Women's History Month. I am your host, Desmond Black, and the two people that sipping and tripping with me today is Miss Jaime Pallotolo and Miss Tiffany Tidwell. How are you guys doing today, and how's your week so far?
Blessed. Go ahead.
Oh, blessed and highly favored.
So. Yeah, and I'm doing well. Yeah.
Everything's been good?
Yeah, everything's good.
That's good. That's good. So, all right. So, Tiffany, tell JB and myself and the viewers a little bit about yourself, what you do for a living, and things of that nature.
Well, hello, everyone. My name is Tiffany, aka Diamond, the Diamond. Right now, I am working in customer service at a corporate office. I am looking to step out and do my own business as a coach. So in April, I'll be certified as a coach. I go to the AJCA Academy, This Your Joy Coaching Academy, one of the best. I'm a mom, I'm a friend, and hey, I'm just happy to be here. It's me.
Good.
Yeah.
Jaime?
Well, I'm a lot of things, but I am specifically like a spiritual facilitator. So I support like high achieving women, female entrepreneurs, and industry visionaries that don't want to live in the urgency of life anymore and don't want to be burnt out. And they're ready to be able to have like sustainability of their wealth and their expansion and their legacy through like ease and effortlessness.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. And just a little bit about myself. Obviously I'm the host of this podcast. I'm a chef. I love food. I'm a big foodie, love cooking. I just completed my first book to be published. I just got to submit it and do all that stuff. I got my hands on a lot of things. I'm working on starting my food truck business and my catering business. I'm a father of 4 kids. And yeah. She said, wow. Wow, to which part? The kids or just everything?
Everything. I'm like, you must be like, I don't know if you know human design, but you must be like a manifesting generator, like in everything.
I try to be.
Yeah.
I definitely try to be. And, that's one thing I tell my kids is just to stay active, right? Because especially at an early age, the more you condition yourself to work and to do certain things, when you get to that age where you need to go out there in the workplace, it becomes second nature to you, right? And that's very important. Because I know a lot of times people lose sight of that and they become lazy, especially kids these days. It's terrible. Like I know my kids, they in them phones all day, electronics, and you can ask them something that's so basic and they just be lost in the sauce. So I don't want that to happen. So I know for me, I make my kids do something educational periodically throughout the day because it goes a long way. Got a couple comments early on. always a chicken wing. What is happening? So okay. So on this platform, I like to conversate, educate, and entertain. And with that being said, I just want to start off with a very interesting question for you guys. It's dealing with motherhood. I know, Jaime, you don't have kids, but you can still answer it. Do you think that dads should receive the same amount of mandatory paid paternal leave as moms do?
Do you want me to go first?
Oh, you go first, yeah.
That's a good question. It depends on the dad.
I'd say, all right, so okay, when you said it, what do you mean? Because when we talk about paid leave, it's like from their job or something like that. So do you think they should be?
If the dad is in the household,
right.
Yes. Because having a dad around is just as important as having your mom. In some cases, there are people who have been without a dad and you see, them spiral. So, yeah, I think that they should have the same paid leave.
Okay.
Depending on the dad.
But see, a job won't know if you're a good father or not.
Not the good father part. Are they in the household?
Say, but how would your job know that?
I guess they wouldn't. You're right there. So,
So that's
so you're right. Yes, a dad should have the chance, if not the same amount of leave, he should have the
right.
chance to bond as well. Very
Got you.
important.
Um. So okay, yeah, because that's very interesting. Because I know a lot of women they don't feel like a man should because we don't give childbirth and it's a lot that goes into it. It's a lot of things you women have to endure that we do not. Now, if I had to put my take on it, do I think we should be compensated the same? I do because we're still a parent at the end of the day, right? It takes two to make one. And for those reasons, I think so. And I know some people might look at it like, well, some people take advantage, but that women take advantage, men take advantage, right? So we can't even look at it like that. We gotta look at things in a positive manner, like we gotta look at people like their parents, and we gotta expect them to do the fatherly thing or the motherly thing. So yeah, I think they should be compensated the same because at the end of the day, that income should be towards the child, right? And when we talk about paid leave, what paid leave is you paying them so they can sit home and bond with their kids and build that connection. So it's nothing wrong with it. Let's see if he's getting up in the middle of the night and doing something. Yes, absolutely. Appreciate you, Ashley. Um, okay. So here's a good question for you guys. How has the definition of femininity changed in the last 10 years or the last 20 years?
Well, that's a loaded
Maybe.
question.
That is. It's an interesting one too, though.
Yeah, I think that right now in society of our community that we are living in right now, it's asking for the feminine to rise and to be able to have this advocacy and authority and empowerment of ourselves because we've been suppressed for so long. We've played a role that society has told us that we needed to play, and we had to take care of the kids and be the best wife and the housekeeper and the person that goes and drives and whatnot. We've had to be everything, and now we're also in corporate jobs and have businesses ourselves, and so now we're doing it all. And I think this femininity role and aspect is needed. Like, we need more voices and more empowered women to be at the forefront right now. Yeah.
Tiffany?
I would agree. It depends on, it's like she said, that's loaded. So a lot of people, different people are going to have different definitions of what they call femininity.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we have evolved. I mean, women aren't staying at home. They do own businesses. We are in corporate offices. We are the CEOs. And I think that should continue. It calls for way more of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And see, for me, like I said, we all see the changes, right? It's like nowadays what I see a lot is it's almost like it's the opposite. I see a lot of women standing up, right, and standing on business more so than men these days. I think it seems like a lot of men are content with staying at home and not working and not, being the provider, not being the protector, right? And it's like the women wants to take on that role. So I'm seeing that a lot these days. And for the men that don't want to be a man at the end of the day, I never understood it, but I don't focus on that. I only focus on myself and my children, right? Trying to make them to responsible men, right? Respectable men. So, but I do see the change, right? And so back in the day, like Jaime was saying, it was about, women staying at home and, all that stuff. But me personally, I don't believe in gender roles. It's about equality and inclusion and all that stuff. And I think, like, especially in relationships, I think it should be a partnership, right? We shouldn't look at it like, oh, that's your role or that's your job. Because at that point, I think you already adding toxicity to your relationship, right? You should be on one accord, and that's how you should operate in a successful relationship. So that's just me. So I love that women are trying to do more, right? And it's a lot of good women out there, but it's a lot of bad women out there too. But We're not gonna get it. It's Women's History Month. My bad for that comment. But at the end of the day, it's a natural instinct for a man to be a provider and a protector, right? But again, since this is Women's History Month, I want to give you guys your flowers, right? Because without you women, right, men wouldn't know how to love us. We wouldn't know how to be soft without you guys, right? We wouldn't know how to be vulnerable if it wasn't for a woman. So, I tip my hat off to you guys, because those things we often categorize as being feminine, but for a man to be a well-oiled machine, for a man to be well balanced, they have to be in tune with their femininity. You know what I'm saying? We have to have that empathy and that compassion. These men that just walk around here like I just got to be macho all day, and they lack that empathy and they lack that compassion. So a lot of times in relationships, they suffer, they fail. So again, I just want to give you guys your flowers for being strong.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, without us, like, there would be no existence.
That is true, but if without a man, women wouldn't be here either. But I got your point. But women are just naturally strong anyways, right? So being that you guys are like naturally strong, let me ask you this, like, because I think this is something we all went through. How do you guys cope with depression?
Tiffany, yeah, go ahead.
I mean, there's different ways. So as a woman, especially, I know as a mother, I know that I can't go lay down and not get up. I have to get up. So I'm going to deal with that. I'm going to pray on it. That's my go-to. I'm praying on it. I have friends that I can reach out to, but I know that I have to keep going. And all mothers, we know we have to get up regardless. It doesn't matter about what you feeling. Your kids is going to always be at the forefront. So you have to get up and go. But yeah, prayer is my main go-to. Therapy. A lot of people put a stigma on therapy, but it is a much needed tool sometimes that people should use. So that you can talk it out and get all of it out of you.
Right. So before I go to you, Jaime, I just want to add to that. Like, this is the thing. I'm a big advocate for therapy. Like, I go through therapy, and then people that just meeting me and they be like, why you go to therapy? Because it's therapeutic. It's good. And we all need that community, right? Whether that's a brother, a sister, or a friend. Some people have service animals just for that purpose. Like, it's always good to have that community, because we all go through our ups and downs, right? But it's like everybody want to be around us in our lives when we're on the up. What about when we're on our down? We don't have nobody, right? And it's a lonely road. It's very stressful. So it's very important to have that go-to person, that ear and that shoulder, And anybody that shuns therapy or criticize or downplay therapy, it's because they're afraid of change. They're afraid of what they may get out of that. And that's just my take on that, And you mentioned God, right? This thing, God, he built us to be strong, but he didn't build us for stress, right? So with that being said, it's like, why should we walk alone? Because we always, like, when we go through dark times, when we go through dark times, we need somebody. God built us to be strong, not for stress. So we all should find that avenue, that support teams to help us help build us up. But Jaime, how do you deal with how do you cope with depression?
I agree with you guys. Like, I have chronic PTSD just from a lot of trauma that I have endured with an abusive marriage, and also 2 near-death experiences. And so for me, like, therapy and having a therapist is really important, because I'm not always going to my friends that might not be capable of holding space for me in that type of capacity. And it's someone that's not directly involved in situations or relationships, and understanding PTSD at that point of view of understanding that, it might have happened 2 years ago, but it's still affecting me now. And I think, we all have different types of coping mechanisms that we utilize for us to be able to support ourselves, whether it is we go to the gym, or we numb out on food, or we watch TV, or whatever that dynamic might be of a disruption and distraction. It depends on if it's suppressing you and not allowing you to move forward and you're being avoidant on it, or you're actually allowing yourself to be able to express the emotion, the stress, the energy that is coming from it. Because like you said, I believe that talk therapy is incredible and amazing. And sometimes it's not enough, but we need to be able to have that support.
Got you. All right. So Jamie, are you religious?
I grew up Catholic, and all through my life, and went to Catholic school and whatnot, and was the altar girl and the good girl and whatnot. Right now, I think my views have shifted and changed. I do believe in God, and I do pray still, and I do keep that connection of a higher power. It's just different than what I was taught. There's no specificity, and I have to do this or I have to do that, or this is this way or this is that way. It's more of a divine connection with me and God.
Got you. Tiffany, you religious? I know you before you said you pray to God, right? So you religious?
Yes. Yes. I don't believe I would even be sitting here talking to you guys today if it had not been for God and prayer and my faith. I know I would. Some of the things that I have been through, I would have been gone. But through my faith, I have been able to persevere, get up and go, and I'm still sitting here today. So yeah, I am. I do believe in God.
So what would you say it was that led you to Christ?
So I came up in church from an early age, but to know him for myself and to really know what that is. My mom died when I was 16, pregnant with my first kid, and it took a toll because I had to stop being a child. I had to stop my teenage years and step right into motherhood. And like I said, I was in I was in a couple of toxic relationships, and so there was a time that I didn't have anyone to call but God. And so that's when I got to know him.
Got you. So for me, not to go down the rabbit hole of talking religion, right, too much, but the irony is this, I on my father's side of the family, I grew up in the church, every Sunday was going to church, but I feel like religion shouldn't be forced on anybody. It should be something that they are ready for and they take in. But sometimes as kids, our parents don't give us that opportunity. They just say, "Oh, this is what you're going to do." So I've rebelled growing up, and I was like, you know what? No, it's not for me. And then I stopped going to church in high school when I left from living with my father, and I said I would never step foot in the church again. Now my older brother is highly religious. He has a podcast as well. It's faith based. My younger brother, he's well versed in scripture. And again, they both know that I always said I wouldn't step foot in church. But I just started my spiritual journey 2 months ago, and it's been amazing. I believe things happen in threes, and some of my viewers heard the story before. But I was going through a very tough time. I had thoughts of like, oh, the world be at peace if I wasn't living no more, right? And that wasn't nothing but that demonic entity that the devil speaking. And I had to pull myself up, and I was like, you know what? I have nothing to lose by giving God a chance, and I have all the game. So I went with my older brother to church, and just the experience was great. Like, to give you a little tidbit on that, it's like, 3 things happened to me that day. And again, I believe things happen in threes. The first thing was the pastor, he asked everybody to come to the altar, right? Came to the altar. He said, hold somebody's hand you feel like it's important. And the first 2 people I reached for didn't take my hand. So I closed my eyes, I clasped my hands together, and I remember thinking to myself, I said, I'm up here looking like a fool all alone. And as I said that to myself, I felt the hand reach for mine. And it's an older lady. I opened my eyes. She's like, son, you're never alone. And in my mind, I'm tripping. I'm like, what? I was all alone. So I'm like, nah. Let me slow down a little bit. I said, I'm tripping because I'm in church. So moments later, I was in the pew, and I had this tension on my neck. I'm like, what is that? Like it felt like somebody was choking me. And I said, when I leave service, I gotta figure out what this is. And a hand touched my shoulder, and I looked over. It was this guy. He says, "God has his hands on you right now. You'll be okay." And then, as he said that, I kid you not, a cool breeze went across my face, and that tension was relieved. And I was like, "Okay, this is getting weird in here." Again, I'm like, I'm in church. I'm overthinking things because I'm overthinking. Now, the third thing was the most impactful for me, because like I was telling you, that I was going through a dark time, and I was nodding off in church, and I woke up to the pastor said, it's somebody. He made it singular. He could have said some of y'all or some people, but he said it's somebody in here that feels like the world be at peace if they wasn't living. It's somebody in here feel like they no longer have purpose in life. So I jumped up. I'm like, what in the world? So the one guy, he reached for my hand, and I looked over my shoulder. I'm like, he can't be looking for me. He's like, no, you. So I held his hand. I couldn't hold back. I just cried, and it was very meaningful. And I know ever since then, things have been aligning for me, and a lot of spiritual people have been coming into my life, and everybody I wanted to be in my life have come and gone. And all the spiritual people, or the women or the men of God, they're the only ones that's still there for me right now. So I'm like, it's gotta be divine. It's gotta be a sign, or from God. And you're just moving forward. Like I had a problem with getting a new job, and I started going to church, and I got a job just like that. So it's been a blessing. I had a good, a good connection, and I'm just a genuine person anyways. So I'm all about encouraging people, uplifting people. So that's just a little history lesson on me as far as religion. But so like, right now I'm in this stage of my life, right? I'm in a season to prepare, not a season to prove, right? A lot of people feel like they need to prove things, right? And then speaking about proving, right? When it comes to friendships, do you feel like friendships get ruined sometimes because people have things to prove to each other? You still there? Oh, okay. I thought you was frozen.
I do. But if you lose your friendship because you had something to prove, were y'all ever really friends in the first place?
Oh, exactly.
That's a very good question.
Friend is thrown around a lot. So I have a best friend. Right now I'm living in Wisconsin. She is in Arkansas. Hey, Venus. We have been best friends for years. We're both mothers. My kids are older than her kids. We don't get to talk as much as we would like, but I'm fully aware because she has like younger kids that it takes a lot to be a mother. I wouldn't dare be upset with her because she's having to live her life, and I know her enough to know, and she knows me enough to know that we don't have nothing to prove to each other. We accept each other for who we are. So if you got something to prove to your friend, were y'all ever really even friends?
Yeah.
Right. I want to circle back to that in a minute though, but what about you, Jamie?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think like when you have expectations on your friendship and relationships, like then and can't be able to talk about it. I think that's the biggest thing too that I've come up against is there's a lot of refraining and not being able to be open and honest with people of your expectations or your desires or your wants or communication. And like for me, I'm like, I want to communicate. I don't care if you're mad at me, tell me you're mad at me. You know what I mean? Let's talk about it. Let's allow ourselves to be heard and seen, but if you're just going to stop talking to me or have to prove something to me or have expectation and then ghost me, like Tiffany said, like we weren't friends in the beginning.
Right. So, all right, let me ask you this, and I'm gonna go to you first, Jamie. So, do you compete with your friends, or do you exhaust all your time and energy in trying to make them better?
Oof. There is no comparison. There's no competing. Like, why is there a need for that? Like they are their own person, I am my own person, and coming together, we allow ourselves to be better people. And if not, then we're not going to be in a relationship or friends together. So I think it's, people aren't going to be there or have the capacity to be there 24/7 at 100%. Just
Right.
like Tiffany said, like my best friend, she's in California, I'm in Florida. She's got 4 kids
Mm.
and a baby, you know what I mean? And so it's like, yeah, I can be there more for her because I don't have that within my life, but it's not like I'm expecting her to be there at every whim and moment that I need her there. Yeah, so I think that there has to be a balance and communication of having friendship.
Tiffany, you find yourself competing with your friends, or do you exhaust all your time and energy in trying to make them better?
I definitely don't have to. We don't compete. We no. We have my friends have what they do. I
Yeah.
have what I do, and we encourage each other. And
Love that.
we I have okay. If you happen to exhaust yourself, all your time and energy, telling somebody you need to get up and do. Hey, did you forget? You
Yeah.
might want to check your friend circle. A friend is uplifting. Is somebody
Yes.
you can call out to and bounce ideas off of. Y'all might not have the exact same goals, but y'all are both working towards goals. So
Right.
definitely not going to compete with them, but always encouraging and praying for them.
Got you.
And
Now,
they do me
before
the
when you
same.
that's good. I love that. So this is the thing, because before you was like, were you ever friends to begin with, right? So it's like a lot of times I think even subconsciously, some consciously, some subconsciously, right? I think a lot of people have this mentality where they want to be better than, right? They look at each other and they might say that's my best friend, but guess what? Say if you both want the same job and one get it, secretly it's like that resentment there, and it's like, oh, okay, well, I'm a one up her. So I think a lot of relationships and friendships falter because of that. A lot of people feel like, oh, I got to be the better one. So that's why I asked you guys that, because I know a lot of people that call me a friend, they always feel like they got to compete with me, and when I was younger I was the same way, but as I get older now I'm looking at like, why am I going to compete with you? If you want this, if you got this before me, I'm gonna congratulate you,
Mhm.
right? Because that's what a friend's supposed to do, not be envious. Because guess what? Maybe God didn't want that for me, right? God wanted that for you, and then it's something better for me, or something else for me waiting around the corner. So I'm not about competing either. I'm gonna congratulate
Mm-mm.
somebody I call a friend. I think once you start competing, that's not really your friend. To go back to what y'all saying, I think it's something else there. Because why are you gonna go into a friendship upset that they won, upset that they're successful, right? Like when I was talking about earlier about a community, what's greater than a community that all pull together, right? Like the sky's the limit.
Right.
It's no
Right.
ceiling. And the more you help a friend thrive, they're gonna help you thrive, because they're gonna make you better and vice versa. And then we are creatures of habit, and we stay with like-minded people. So if we pumping out positivity, then that friend gonna know somebody got a friend that pump out positivity. Now we got this big circle that we all encouraging and uplifting one another. So we all gonna prosper at the end of the day. So that's where I stand at as far as friendships. But staying with the friendship thing though, um, should a person maintain friendships with people that have different core values? We'll start with Tiffany.
Different core values. Hmm. That's a good one. I
Mhm.
like that one. Um, I think that it depends. It depends. What
Yeah.
values? What do you mean? Are
Well, I say
they
core values, like I mean,
okay?
so see, like that is a slippery slope though, because your core
Yeah.
values, everybody's core values is not the same. So that's kind of like a hard question to answer. But
It
but you know how I said, like, go ahead.
but here's my thing. Okay. So one of my values is loyalty. I know for a fact that the people I call friends, that's one of their values. Um, and let me think of another value. Just say their value. My value is, I don't know, religion. But
Right.
maybe they're not as into religion as I am, or maybe that's not one of theirs. I could still remain friends with them. Every once in a while, I might say, "Hey, you better get to know Jesus," but I'm not gonna sever the relationship unless they're encouraging me not to know Jesus. Does that make sense?
Yes,
But
yes.
if we don't all agree on something, like
Oh no.
or no, we should not remain friends, because that's where we're getting into that what you were just talking about, that competing. Because if you're gonna compete with me, that's you getting into that. And then and I think that's where the phrase comes in: keep an eye on your enemies, but watch your friends. You got to watch them. You don't need to be around them. So, yeah, some values should match. Something should add up. But I don't think every one of them have to add up.
Yeah.
What about you, Jaime?
Yeah,
you maintain? Go ahead.
I agree. I think, when I come into relationships now, I state my values. Like I just said, like communication is huge for me. If you're an avoidant, then I know, okay, I'm going to have a wall up with you as well, because I can't be fully vulnerable or honest with myself, because maybe you might leave me. Maybe you might betray me. Maybe, you know what I mean? You won't talk to me in a way of what I value in friendship. And so, like Tiffany said, I think that there is core values that are needed to be in the same type of direction of what we're working towards. And also, too, there's some values. I think the religion thing is a really good example that you talked about, Tiffany, because, I am friends with a lot of people who are religious and non-religious and whatnot, but that doesn't mean that we can't have opposite opinions and still communicate and still be conscious and still love one another and still support one another and, be respectful. So, yeah.
Gotcha. I love that. And the thing is, according to scripture, according to Bible and religion, God is love, right? So it's like when you love yourself, it's like that's when somebody have a relationship with God, right? I mean, we all been around people that is so negative. Like when you speak about God or religion, or take the religion off the table, when you bring positivity and then they shun it and they act real crazy and they get so mad that you're so energetic or you're happy and they get mad. That's that evil entity that I was speak about earlier. Like, I don't get it. I've been around a lot of people like that. Like for instance, I was with my older brother not so long ago, and he sometimes he got a lot of energy and he was just real radiant. He was just happy and joyous, and people was like, I don't know why you always happy, like and they're trying to find flaws in him being happy. Like, I don't understand that. Who doesn't want to be happy? Like, who wants to live a life in misery? I don't know. I know I don't. So to me, that's like, those are toxic people you want to stay away from. They lost sight of who they are as an individual. They don't love themselves. So now when they see somebody else that's displaying that love and affection, that's why they get mad. Because they're missing that. It's a void in their life. They don't know what love is, or they want love and they can't get it. So I think people should love themselves regardless, man. Like, you never let somebody feel like you're less than or anything like that. That's just how I feel. It could be a stranger on the street. If I see them going through it, like I ain't shy. I never been. I stop and try to encourage them and uplift them. That's just who I am, So okay, so Jaime asked you this, and then I circle to Tiffany. Are white lies acceptable to protect your friends? Or do you think you should always be honest?
I guess what is a white lie? Like, what's the perception of that? For me, I'm fully honest. Like, I am that person that doesn't avoid anything. So I'm going to be upfront with you. I'm going to communicate with you, and I'm going to tell you the truth. And some people don't like that, and I've lost friends over that. I've lost clients over that because I'm so direct, but I'm not here to hold your hand. I'm not here.
I love that.
Illusion. I'm not here for you to wear a mask. I'm not here to be able to hold space for your comfort of maybe victimhood or whatever that dynamic might be. Like Tiffany was saying, like, we want to rise together. We want to expand. We want love and laughter and have fun. We want to be able to live our lives, not suffer through it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm definitely very direct and very truthful.
Tiffany?
So you said with a Is a white lie acceptable to protect
your
the
friends?
friend?
Yes. Or should you always be upfront and honest?
Oh, you talking about like they feelings? Okay, no,
Yeah.
you should be able to tell your friend right away that's not for you. I mean, for instance, my friend has told me, I don't think you should go there. I don't think this for you. However, your decision is your decision. I support you in whatever you decide to do.
Right.
So she told me the truth. And then she was like, I'm telling you now, I don't think that's right, but I'm still gonna support you and love you anyway. And that's a friend. And I would do her the same. Yeah.
Right. See, that's hard because I'm guilty of it myself. Like, I think if it's somebody you call a friend or even a best friend, I feel like you should always, no matter what, have the heart and have the wherewithal to be able to be honest with them, because they can't progress in life if you're watering things down, if you're telling those little white lies. But I am guilty of it because I have an abundance of empathy and compassion, maybe too much sometimes, right? So sometimes if, I feel like I could read the room. Sometimes I'd be like, or it's about knowing your personnel. So sometimes I'm around people that I call my friends and I'm like, dang, if I tell them the truth, it's going to hurt their feelings. And I'm not in the business to hurt feelings, but at the same time, I do want to see them prosper and thrive. So I am guilty of that. So I'm trying to get away from that though. But sometimes I will tell a little white lie just to protect feelings. But 9 times out of 10, it bite me in the ass because people come back to me and be like, oh, you lied to me about such and such. I'm like, listen, it's because I didn't want you mad at me. I didn't want our friendship to be frayed. And somebody had to put me in my place, and I hate being put in my place, but sometimes it's needed. Friend put me in place. They said, if you felt like our friendship, our years of friendship was going to be sabotaged or afraid because you told me the truth, you was being upfront and honest with me, then how can you call me your friend? So I had to do a lot of self reflection and I had to think about that. And I was like, you know what? That's true. If we friends, we friends. It's like family. We connected by blood. I can't sit there and say I'm there for you if I'm not there 100%. So that's something I'm working on. So I thought that was a good question to ask you guys. Speaking about family, though, do you think friendship should ever come before family? That's another good question. Anyone of y'all?
So you can have family that cross you faster than your enemy. I mean, you can have family that you have to cut off and love from a distance.
Yeah.
And you can have a friend that's just like your sister. A friend that's just like, that's your blood. We just come from different mothers. And your question was, should they come before family?
Yeah. Should it ever be a time where friendship should come before family?
Okay. So I'm gonna give you an example. So say I got a family member that maybe we don't get along. That's my family. I love them. I acknowledge them. And I got $40. If my best friend called me and asked me for the 40, and this cousin called me and asked me for the 40, cousin, I'm sorry, I don't have it. This friend getting the 40.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pray for you, but because I know for a fact that she doing the same for me. So
you got you.
Yeah. And it just depends on what family you're looking at. I love my family, and maybe I'm even splitting the 40. I don't have the whole 40 for neither one of y'all, but here go 20 each. So
got you.
But in some instances, yes. Yes.
Got you. Jaime?
Yeah, I think Tiffany spoke for me as well. Like, just because you're blood doesn't mean that you take precedent over someone else that you've created relationships with that are family to you, Right. So I think Tiffany spoke really well on that. So I agree.
And that's the thing, some people say blood, just because we blood don't make us family, right? That's just, to piggyback off what you were saying. Like, I mean, I've had a lot of friendships that like felt like family, you know, especially growing up. I think most of us had that feeling where it might be a male or a female that we were like, dang, I wish we was blood related. I wish that was my brother, or I wish that was my sister, because you got that familiar bond with each other. The chemistry is there. Everything is just there. You're just equally yoked, and so mentally you are family. I got people like that now that I'm like, we family. So yeah, for me, I mean, I think, see, it's tough because I know some of my brothers might be like, I wish you would put a friend over me. Like, I'm not saying I would do that with my brothers, but like, it all depends on the relationship, really. If I'm closer to them than I am with you, I'm sorry. We might be family, but you know, step your game up, like interact with me more, like spend more time with me and build up that chemistry. So I think it's all about chemistry and vibrations. You know, so if you pour onto me like I'm pouring into you, we're gonna be right there, you know. And like you said, Tiffany, that's a great way to put it. Because I've been in those situations where somebody I say is a best friend or a good friend asked me for something in family, and I was like, I ain't got it. And I picked which side of the street I wanted to go with it. But you just gave me a good idea. I don't know why I never thought about that. Like, split it. Like, I ain't got the 40, cousin, or bro. I got 20 for you though. You take it or leave it. You know what I'm saying? And meanwhile, don't tell them what you're gonna do with the other 20. But you know, so that's a good way to put it. I like that. That was good. So then they both win, right? Because if any side gets mad, now you know for future reference. No, I ain't gonna give it to you no more. You got mad because I couldn't come through for you. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing too. Sometimes family, they got the hand out all the time, but when you got your hand out in the time of need, they got it, and they'll tell you, I ain't got it. So you got to be watchful of those type of people, you know?
Yes.
Okay, it's another good one for you though. So we talk about like best friends, right? Is it healthy to share everything with a best friend, or is privacy necessary? Yeah, this goes hand in hand with what we was talking about before. Like, are you really friends, right? So it's like, if y'all really that close and y'all call yourself each other best friends, is it healthy to tell them everything, or should you pull back a little bit and have a little bit of privacy? What do you think, Jaime?
I mean, if you're my best friend, I'm telling you everything.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if you're just an acquaintance or you're a type of friend, like we all have types of friends, right? We know the friend that we can go to go out on the town, you know what I mean, and drink with, or we know the friend that's going to stay home and have charcuterie boards and watch a movie, you know, like we can have different types of friends in that type of way. But if you're my best friend, I'm telling you everything.
Everything. Tiffany?
I'm right with her. It ain't nothing about me that she don't know, and I don't think it's nothing about her that I don't know. Now, I will say, maybe in your like relationship endeavors, maybe might keep some of that to yourself if your partner has asked you to, maybe. Yeah. But other than that.
So okay, Xavier. So what about in relationships? In relationships, would you tell your best friend everything, or do you think some of that should be held back?
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same. I've dealt with it. I've been in that situation before as well. But the truth comes out anyways. You know, it's gonna come out anyways. Or, you know, if I need support from my best friend about the relationship, then I'm going to say something and speak about it as well, you know? But I mean, if your partner said something not to, then that's what I go to my therapist about.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's good.
Yeah.
Should you tell your friend if you think their partner is cheating, or if you think they're toxic?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Ooh, yeah. See, that's tricky because this is the thing.
You're a guy.
Hey, I've been around a lot of women in my life, you know, and this one thing I would say to that is a lot of women might tell their girlfriends, "Oh, I think your man's cheating," or "I think he's toxic." Right? At the end of the day, your friend is either going to be with that person or they're not. And then what happens if you tell them all these things? Oh, he's cheating, or he's toxic. and then they have a disagreement, and then they break up, and then they get back together. And guess who the enemy is? Mm-hmm. Right? I've seen it on both ends with women or men. Then they look at their friend like, oh, you try to ruin my relationship. So it's a slippery slope. So for me, when I was younger, I used to do it. I think this person's cheating. You know what I'm saying? But then they made me the enemy. You try to sabotage, or especially women, female friends of mine. That's because you want me, or you've been wanting me for the last 2 years. Of course, you would try to ruin my relationship. So as I got older, I said, you know what? I'm gonna stay out of it. It ain't my business. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was a real good question to ask right there. Yeah, it's a slippery slope. But you say I'm a guy. I know you women think differently on all fronts.
See,
go ahead.
If this is your friend, it is no way that I'm gonna have my friend and I'm gonna walk in McDonald's and he in there with whoever, Jaime.
Yeah.
Not only am I telling it, but I'm telling it right then. Mm-hmm. Pull up, he in here with Jaime. Pull on up, he in here with Jaime. Let's go on in.
And you have your phone out.
He in here right now. And not only that, if she decides, we working it out, Jaime didn't mean nothing, I'm still gonna support that, and I'm still gonna walk in and holler, "Hey, Desmond, how you doing? Can I get I'm still walking in speaking, but just be more careful because I'm going to tell her. You're not gonna play with her behind her back. You're just not gonna do it.
So you said if you walk into McDonald's and you see it, what if she was already in there and he just walked in and they knew each other and they was conversating? See how perception can have you misconstrued a little bit?
No. Because then I'm not questioning it. I'm not going to my friend and I don't have the actual proof.
Okay, I got you.
Because he could be a podcast host. You talk to you've been doing Women's Month, so you might be trying to get a guest in McDonald's. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if I know for a fact that what I saw, I want her to see it too, and I'm calling right then. I'm telling it. And if they stay together, hey, how you doing? Love y'all.
I hate to use myself as an example, but this is the thing. One thing about me and people that know me, I am very flirtatious, right? Whether I'm trying to, take my shot or not, I am a flirtatious person. Like I'll go out, I'll flirt with somebody that's 90 years old just because it's attention, number one, and number two is just like it's fun, and like I think everybody likes that feeling of being valued and desired, right? And I know I certainly do. We always say women want to be desired all the time. So does men. That's why we do the things we do. A lot of men mess up things, or mess up a good thing because we just think with the wrong head, and we always want to be desired in that way. So for me, like a lot of people, like in a relationship, they might look at me like, or tell my significant other, "Oh, he's out here cheating," because it looks like it, but it might not be the case. So that's one of those things, a slippery slope. Like I know for me, if somebody did that and I wasn't cheating, I would be miserable. It's happened plenty of times, but now I'm trying to run different businesses. I trying to have my food truck business, catering business. I got the podcast. You see my shirt that says podcast on the back, got my handles on it. So a lot of times when I go out, I got strangers, I got men and women coming to me all the time. Like, oh, what's that about? And I'm like, I got my handles on the back, and my phone stay jumping. I get calls, texts all the time. It'd be overwhelming sometimes, to be honest with you. So for me, that's what I say. I hate to use myself as an example, but like in a relationship, somebody would look at it like, oh yeah, he cheating, or he trying to be with this person, that person, but it's not the case. I'm a businessman. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
But if it's my friend, Desmond, you with my friend, I noticed about you. Mm-hmm. This is not this is lady is my acquaintance. And yeah. But if she's my friend, more than likely I've been around you. We've already conversated. She's already said, he kind of flirtatious a lot. He flirts a lot, but I know he ain't doing nothing. So I'm already knowing that. She said,
no. Yeah, that's why I'm laughing. Liza, I don't know what you're talking about. Don't put nothing crazy on in the comments, but we got to talk about that one. I don't care.
And I'm even gonna say, friend, if if you comfortable with Esmond out there flirting with everybody,
Yeah.
I won't come back with you. Come back to you with it. Because but I ain't gonna lie, I'm going there one time to make sure she know.
Oof, I got you. Now I know. Noted. But I am very respectful though. It's just that is in my nature. I do flirt. Like, yeah. I seen it. Like, I went to a store. There was this woman. She had a cane and everything. I'm like, girl, where you been all my life? And then it's the response I got from her. She's like, like 20 years ago. I'm 20 years ago. What? It's just in my nature. But I don't. Am I serious? No. It's
I think
we laughed about it. Yeah. We laughed. It was over with.
I think it also depends. Like, you can't use that as an excuse, but also too, it has to deal with intention. Like, you flirting with somebody to be able to get attention is different than you talking to somebody being open of business and a client. You know what I mean? Like, the intentions are different.
Yeah. Yeah, I got you.
Like that, Jaime. Yeah.
Yeah. I got you. So, all right.
I'm still
how much time and energy should you be expected to give a friend? She got the face. I'm gonna go to you first, Jaime. Like you was in deep thought.
Man, because these questions depend on perception and expectation. You know what I mean? I think that there should be an energetic exchange. Like, I'm not going to be in a relationship or a friendship with somebody where I'm just giving, and I'm not receiving anything out of it, and vice versa. And so I'm very aware of that, but I'm gonna be there for my friend. Absolutely. But I'm not going to do it at the detriment of myself. I've done that so many times where I just expend so much of me and my energy that my health will go to the wayside. I'm not taking care of myself because I'm putting them first, right? And so I'm going to be there, but not at the detriment of myself.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Tiffany?
So the question was, how much time and energy should you put in a friendship?
Should you be expected to give a friend? Yeah.
I don't think. I somewhat agree with what she says, not at the detriment of yourself. But I don't think you can measure that.
Yeah.
So if my friend called me at 3 a.m, I know it's something. I'm getting up out my sleep to see what that is. Something's going on. And it goes back to what I said earlier. We live different lives. Mm-hmm. So I know she can't be, what you said earlier, I know she can't be available at my every want to talk on the phone. She has kids. Mm-hmm. She knows I work. But like when I shared your post, she was right under it. I'm so proud of you. I wanted to, I'm tuning in.
I've seen it. Yeah.
And if she's sharing something, even though I'm in Wisconsin, and if she's sharing something about, because she does, she cooks and she's great at it. I wish I was down there. I love it. You can support your friend through other ways, even if you're not talking every day. So I don't think there should be a measurement or. I expect if I know if I've got something going on, I can call, and she know if she's got something going on that she needs me, she can call, and that's the expectation there.
Right, and so I agree with both of you guys. Like, for me, that's what a friendship should be. But it's some people that I feel like it's too needy. I know it's people that threaten to end a friendship if you don't talk to them every day or every other day, right? And I feel like if you're a good friend, sometimes you don't need to be in their face every second, right? Like the absence makes the heart grow fonder. And and one thing I cannot stand is when ghosting. That thing ghosting, that's some new shit. Like, I hate it. Like, if something ain't working, be a woman enough or be man enough to say it ain't working, or this what I don't like. I feel like no matter what it is, that man or that woman deserves an explanation or at least a simple conversation about it, and see if y'all can work it out and come to a happy medium. But nowadays, people just be ghosting. Like, if you try the dating scene, like, the conversation might be great for 3 days, and then all of a sudden you get ghosted. You're like, well, what did I say? What did I do? The last time you got you checking your phone at the last message, just like, no, it's all good, it's all positive. I don't know what it is. Same thing with friendships. I mean, I've had people say, you're not emotionally or mentally available enough for me. I'm like, what does that mean? Like, if we call each other friends, like one of my male friends, right? We call each other best friends. Shit, he had kids late in the game. He was like 40 something, 45, 46 when he had his first kid, and we don't talk all the time like that. But guess what? When we do talk, it's meaningful, it's impactful. We have great conversation, and I haven't seen him in a couple months. So that's, to me, that's how you measure a friendship, right? We don't need to talk every day to know we friends with each other. But there's some people out there that are like, oh yeah, no, it's been 2 days, I ain't heard from you. Lose my number. I'm like, that's crazy. And I can see that happening with when you're just starting out a new friendship. But let's say if you was friends with somebody for 2 years, and maybe y'all used to talk like that, but now y'all at different points in your life and you can't do it. And for them to just dump you, it's like, that's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
It is.
So the one thing I want to say is, since we talk about Women's History Month, who are some of the women in your lives that helped you get through your days, Jaime?
I think for me, it's actually been like people that have been around me versus like my mom. My mom and I have a strenuous relationship. So I was always looking for that mother figure, whether it be like a mentor or a coach or a teacher or someone that was just at work or a colleague or whatnot. Like those have been my people that have held space for me and that have supported me and that have lifted me up. And I surround myself with those people. When we're talking about people who are, gaslighting you and ghosting you, I'm like, those people are my friends. Like that was in high school. Like I'm too old for that now,
Right.
I just state what my expectation is, what these are my values. This is what I value in a friendship. And if you can reciprocate that, amazing. Or what's your expectation of me? Great. But yeah, I think the women in my life have been who I've been coming into contact to in my experiences versus any type of family. Yeah.
Got you. Tiffany?
You said who were some of the women that have been influential in my life?
You're right. And help you get through your days.
Help me get through my days. So definitely my friends. My sister. I have a sister. And then God has been placing people in my life here lately. I mentioned earlier the AJCA Academy. They are like sisters to me. And they have every week we have class once a week, and every week I had 500 pounds worth of things that I was coming to unload on them. So definitely them. I work with a lady that I'm riding with. I think God placed her in my life. And at one point, just during the ride, she was a therapist and my ride. And I just believe that God will place people in your life when you need it. So yeah. And yeah.
So I like that. So this thing for me is like, sometimes we don't know where church is going to find us, right? And I look at you women like a church, right? Because I truly feel blessed in you guys' presence, right? But to mention a person in particular, like I will definitely have to say my mother. We bump heads all the time, but she knows I'm there for her, and vice versa. Through my darkest times, through my ups and my downs, my mom has always been there, and I haven't met a woman yet that could come close to, saying my mom, as far in that aspect. Like my mom's just always been there, even when she ain't agree with certain things, she just always been there. So my mother is and forever will be my superhero, and she's always gonna be the greatest woman alive, and I know a lot of times she don't feel like she was the best mother, but I like to tell her and my viewers and everybody else that like She is the best mom, right? And she's a great mother. And I say, like, nobody's perfect, right? So for me, it's like this. It's the people that give up. It's the ones you got to worry about, right? As long as you're actively trying every day, that doesn't falter. You don't, you just keep persevering. You keep finding a way to manage. Those are great parents to me, right? So I tell my mom all the time, love you, mom, you the greatest. She don't, half the time she be like, get out of here. But I mean that though. In school I used to tell people that's my superhero. When all the other kids was naming Batman, Superman, or something like that, or a firefighter, I said, oh, it's my mother. So if she's watching, love you, mom. If not, I'll tell her later. But yeah, like, failure leads to success. That's what I tell my mom too. Failures are just lessons for us to learn how to succeed. So yeah. So again, I congratulate you guys, because you guys, it falls to the wayside. Especially with men. You guys, the contributions you guys have on society and the world is tremendous, right? It falls to the wayside a lot of times. Especially with men. A lot of men, we feel like we on top of the world and y'all underneath us, but it's all about being equally yoked, especially in relationships, right? You both need to pull together and look at each other as equals, right? And it's funny that I say equals, because in my brother's podcast, we go back and forth about this all the time, whether or not your significant other is your equal or not. He always look at it like, no, I'm the head of the household. She's beneath me. I'm like, well, no, your relationship is flawed if that's your mindset. I pick on them all the time. I feel like when you're in a relationship, that's your equal. The man supposed to look at the woman as an equal, and vice versa. Because I feel like as long as you guys do that, again, it's no ceiling. It's no limit to what you guys can. What?
You said your brother says he's the head of the household, and
so like,
she's like the helpmate, not an equal.
Yes, that's how he look at it. Yes.
Oh, is he very like biblical? He's going on the biblical aspect of it, or
no? He goes to church. I mean, maybe I try to get it out of him, but he always says that's what the Bible said. I'm like, so no, just because the Bible said the woman was designed to be the helpmate, right? It's so. First of all, the Bible is convoluted as it is, so try to depict it and dissect it and put it in a bubble is unfair, because it says to be a helpmate. A helpmate don't mean you're not equal though. A helpmate don't mean she's under you. You know what I'm saying? When a man help a woman, guess what? You her helpmate. It's twofold, right? So that's what I try to tell them. So I feel like in a relationship, when you go into a relationship, you look at each other as equal, and y'all gonna succeed that way. That's a recipe for success, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would love to have a conversation with your brother, because how can a woman not be his equal? If I mean, maybe the dynamics, I don't know. Even if you're going to work and paying every bill, I'm sitting here cleaning it up. It will fall to the ground if I'm not holding it up. I'm making sure you eat every day. I'm equal.
And this goes back to what I was saying. Like, the contributions of a woman, especially with men, it falls to the wayside a lot of times. But like I said, he do have a faith-based podcast every Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 6:30. So I mean, he likes to have as many guests as I do. So I'll definitely let him know. But yeah, he often say that. And he's married. And he just like, my wife ain't my equal. I just like, that's terrible.
When you said that, I immediately knew, and I agree with you. People, I think the Bible is interpreted by everyone differently.
Yeah. And
when you said she is not my equal, he feels that way. And that's why I asked, is he going on the Bible? And that's how a lot of people interpret that. I don't think it was meant like that. If he took a rib from the man to make the woman, how are we not equal?
And especially when we talk biblical, this is the thing. The God said he made all of us in his image. Right?
In his image.
He didn't say I made all men in my image. I made all my children, men and women, in my image. Yeah. mean, I just don't understand. But so I'm like I said, I'm not even talking biblical. I'm just saying through trials and tribulations, and I've spent a lot of my life around women, whether it's family or in relationships or just close female friendships that I have, and I always absorb whatever I can from a woman. Right? You know, a man's never going to fully understand a woman and vice versa, but I try. I try because it makes me feel more of a complete man, right? And it goes with the whole compassion and the empathy. I like, you know, every man should be in tune with their femininity. You know, a lot of men, you say that word feminine or femininity, they oh, what are you talking about? Not me. We wouldn't be human if we didn't have that, you know? We have to. We have to act in our femininity and our masculine. We got to know how to have that balance, right? It's like when we have, that's another one me and my brother talked about is, you know, about the femininity thing. I'm like, you know, about the empathy and compassion. He said, those are feminine traits. I'm like, oh, hold up now. You got two daughters. You was compassionate with them, right? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, but you used the word compassion. You was compassionate. Therefore, if you're saying that's feminine, you was acting in your femininity. You're married to your wife. You cried at the wedding. You're acting in your femininity, right? So again, I don't believe in like gender roles and all that stuff. Man, woman, equal, and you thrive when you look at each other as such. That's just me.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know, like you women are a vessel for all of us men, right?
Very
you
true.
keep us grounded. You guys keep us grounded, and I mean that wholeheartedly. Not just because it's the month of March. I always felt that way. Like you know, it was an old saying when I was growing up that a man might be the head of the household, but that woman's that neck. She get to turn it whatever which way she wants to, right? So that's just like a analogy. There's just an example of you know, you should be equal. Like you can't operate without all your limbs and your ligaments. It's like you can't play a football game. You can't play soccer with one leg, right? So
I
the man's got,
believe behind every good man, there was a great woman helping him make whatever decisions he was making. And please, the good presidents, like they wives was somewhere telling them, hey, we're not going to war this week. You're going to have to do something else. Get them people that check. I mean, behind every good man and when a thriving man, there was a great woman helping him make them decisions.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, because we keep each other balanced at the end of the day.
Keep each other balanced.
But you know, the one thing I love about women, right, is how you guys treat your friendships like relationships, right? And I think that us men, we should model our friendship after you guys, right? Like you guys are so close with each other. You guys are so vulnerable with each other, right? Where men are afraid to show that vulnerability. We're afraid to show feelings and emotions. A lot of men act like we're not human. We act like we're God or I don't know, but that's just in a man's nature to always feel like we always got to be like tough and strong all the time. But that's not the case. So Tiffany, when we talk about friendships, right? Like, how do you view friendships as a whole?
How do I view friendships?
Yes.
Like, what do you mean? How do I view them? Like, so first of all, I again say the word friend is thrown around a lot.
Right.
I can't meet you Wednesday and we friends Friday. We got to get to know each other to see if we even gonna mesh up on that level. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then a friendship. This is a person, my friend. This is a person I can go to with my deepest secrets, and not go anywhere. This is a person that I can tell I can talk to. A friendship is intimate and not like on a sexual level, but they can feel you. They know when you're going through something,
right? And
they're gonna reach out, and so it's sacred. A friendship is just as sacred as the relationship that you have with your partner, your husband or your wife.
Is there a difference between a friendship and a best friend? I mean, a friend and a best friend?
Yes. I don't know. Yes.
See, and the reason why I said that, because you said you ain't say your best friend, you said I'm gonna tell my friend everything. So immediately I was thinking, okay, so all friends know everything. Like, so
Now you got
for me, I gotta say you my best friend for me to sit there and say I'm gonna tell you everything. Just a friend, nah, I gotta hold back a little bit. That's just me.
so it's just what Jaime said earlier. You got your friends that, hey, I know I can go party with this person, but I
Yeah.
might not tell them this right here.
Mhm.
I got my friends that I do. Yo, I view my best friend as we've been through everything.
Mm.
Um, we could go months without talking, and when we come
Hmm.
back, like you said a while ago, nothing has been missed. It's just like we talked yesterday,
Mhm.
Yep.
and we probably known each other for years,
Mhm.
and so that's who I call my best friend. And but on another level, you could meet somebody and be considering them your best friend over a few months, if that
Mm.
if y'all link up and click up like that.
Right. Got you, Jamie. How do you see friendships? Like, right? I know Tiffany said like, oh, if it's a couple of days, you can't call that person your friend. So like, what is it? At what point do you be like, okay, that's my friend?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that we have to have experiences together to be able to know, how you're going to react in some types of situations. Are you going to support me? Or are you not? Like, and are you capable of holding space for me or not? Like, I can't just call anybody my friend, just
Mm.
like Tiffany said. So yeah, I agree.
So let's say it was somebody you was talking to for like let's see 2 months, but you haven't experienced nothing together, and they call you a friend, and you say you like to be blunt. Would you tell that person we're not friends yet, or would you just let it rock out?
I mean, it depends, but it's like we're acquaintances, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like we talk. I know you, you know me in a different type of capacity, but we haven't experienced anything together. I wouldn't consider that a friend.
Oh, okay, that's tough because yeah, I've actually been in that situation on both sides. Like I've called people friends. I'm like, we're not friends. I'm like, dang, that's kind of cold blooded. Like we've been talking like constantly, have been consistent, like laughed together, we hung out. They're like, that don't mean we friends, we cool. And I'm like, dang, it kind of hit home a little bit, hurt my feelings a
Yeah.
little bit. I was like, oh, that's crazy. But on the other end though, it's been like that where people call me a friend. I'm like, we ain't friends. But I say I ain't blunt like that sometimes. Unless they being annoying with it, I'm just gonna let it rock out. But I've been on that end of the spectrum where people call me friends or even say we best friends, and I'm looking at them like they got three heads, like crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things. It's tough. It's tough. Like so, what's okay? I guess I can't answer that. I'm gonna ask that because I think you answered already. I was gonna say, how long is a good time to be involved with somebody before you call them a friend? But you already said you gotta have experiences together. So
Mhm.
I guess you answered that already.
Mhm.
Um, so this is another thing I've noticed about women, right? You guys, you treat your girlfriend breakups as if they was like relationships, like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. Yeah. So you agree, Tiffany? Like a girlfriend breakup, it's like a relationship.
Like your friend? Yeah, because
Yeah.
you've been through some things together. You told this person, and they probably told you some intimate things about one another.
Mm-hmm.
And what is it that we couldn't work out?
Mhm.
Right.
Why
Mhm.
we couldn't be mad for 2 days and come back and be like, you know, you was tripping, but we
Right.
still friends. Like, you know what I mean? That's
Mhm.
Right.
because now I'm questioning, was we ever friends?
Mhm.
Yeah.
What's
Mhm.
making us break up?
Mhm.
Right.
Same.
So
Yeah.
you do you guys think that it's tougher to deal with girlfriend breakups than a intimate relationship with a significant other? Which one's harder to deal with?
So it depends on how long that relationship was,
Yeah.
and then for the friend, and then same thing with the man.
Mhm.
Mm,
Had we been in this for years and it was toxic as hell,
Mhm.
right.
Or did I just know you for a few months and I shouldn't have spoke to you anyway?
Well, let's play devil's advocate though. Let's say y'all knew each other for an equal amount of time, right? And say you lost a friend, your girlfriend, and then you lost your significant other. Which one would be tougher for you to deal with?
Probably the friend for me, because, and not to be funny here, you probably gonna find another relationship sooner than you're gonna be able to find somebody that you really call your friend.
Right. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Like, that makes sense. Yeah. I understand exactly what you're saying. Yeah. So, but like a lot of women, when I ask that question, they say, oh, "My girlfriend," without hands down. Like, and as a man, I'm like, wow. And that's one thing about you guys. You got, like I said, you guys are so close knit with each other. You know, y'all offer each other that community, that safe haven, and it's just so open. It's like y'all family. Like we said earlier. Your girlfriends are like family. Y'all treat each other like sisters. Where as men, we don't treat our friends like that, because mentally we look at it like, nah, that's not the manly thing, or nah, why are you so close? But I mean, I can count on one hand how many male friends I had that's like that. You know what I'm saying? That I was like, yo, love you, bro. They say the same thing. People like, yo, y'all weird, but like, no, that's that community. We can't be afraid of how we feel now. You know what I'm saying? Because I think like. And that's one thing I tip my hat off to you women, because y'all are so close knit, and I love that. And I never understood it. I'm like, dang. That's why I said earlier, I think men should model our friendships after you guys. That's one thing we should all learn from you guys, how to properly have those friendships, right? And offer that safe space for our friends, because we definitely don't.
Yeah.
You know?
I think you have to
smile, but
yeah. I think like we're taught, like you guys are taught, you know, to be strong and have this facade and, you know, have to be like the man and not have any emotions, because emotions is weakness, you know? So I think you have to change the whole identity of society and the projection that like you grew up in. And that's why you were like, you know, I'm teaching my kids how to be able to have that femininity, to be able to have both that feminine and masculine characteristics. Yeah, I think that's really important.
100%. And the one thing I've learned through my journeys in life is this, you know, like when women see these qualities and these traits and characteristics in myself, they're like, wow, like who raised you? Because that's great. What was the men in my life that's like you? That's because I know how to be in tune with both masculinity and the feminine, right? Like I got an abundance of empathy and compassion. I'm not afraid to offer my shoulder to you and things of that nature. And whatever societal norms is for a man to feel, like I know how to go against the grain if I need to, right? Because whether male or female, if you're good to me, I'm gonna be good to you, and that's it. So a lot of women look at it like, dang, you was taught right. And it's not that I was taught by my parents to be that way. It's just something, these are things that I've learned through my journeys of life. You know, you go through life with your eyes open and not just having tunnel vision. You learn a lot. You know, you never get too old to learn. And that's why, man, I just want to be a complete man at the end of the day. And I don't do things for the validation piece. I don't do things to be noticed, right? It's just I want to feel good about myself, and I want to be complete. I want to be the best version of myself. And in doing that, I have to be balanced, right? So that's it. That's where I come from.
I think also, too, with a man that is so secure in themselves, like they make the woman feel safe so she can soften, so that she doesn't need to be strong, so that she doesn't need to take control of everything, you know, so that she can be held and supported and know that my man's going to be there for me. Like I can trust him, you know? Yeah.
And, you know, for us men, a lot of times we'll say that women want security, reassurance, but so does men. A lot of men don't want to admit it, but so does men. I speak for myself. I know I want that reassurance. Yeah. You know, I want all of that. I want that safety. And a lot of men might look at me and say, like, you want safety from a woman? Yes. not from physical harm, but like emotionally, mentally. I need that safety from my woman, right? I need that woman to make me feel secure and to help me feel like the man that I was born to be. You know what I'm saying? Like if a woman don't do that for a man, they let them wallow in their sorrows and all that. That's that safety that they're missing. That's that void that need to be filled. So once a woman knows to protect the man, just like she wants protection, the sky's the limit. That's a recipe for success in your relationship. So that's why I like to offer to a lot of people, man. I'm an advocate for a lot of things, and it makes me feel good. I take solace in the fact that people younger than me and older than me come to me for advice, come to me for guidance, especially when they're older than me. When you're older than me, like 15, 20 years, and you come to me, oh yeah, it makes me feel empowered. That's another thing that women say all the time. They want to feel empowered. Well, so do I. You know what I'm saying? So that's my piece on that. So why do you think that women support other women more so than men support men? Why do you think that's so hard for us men?
I can't. I think men support each other pretty. As a matter of fact, I think they do it more than women more so. I think a lot of times it's just what we talked about earlier. Women be in competition with other women. I want to get one up on her. I want to, a lot of times women are in competition with other women, but men support men. Like, they gonna make sure it's a man being hired. They gonna, I mean, he might not even have the same education as this lady, and say it's a lady that's doing the hiring. This lady could probably, it's a lady coming in for the interview, and her resume is loaded. But because she's afraid that this lady might come in and take her job, oh no, she's not hired. So
Yeah.
I think that men support each other a little more than most women. I think there's a lot of competition among a lot of women. I'm just being honest.
That's tough. You agree, JB, or you see things differently?
I think she's talking about it in a different type of perception. You know what I mean? Like if we're talking friends, that's different than somebody like in the workforce, right? Like I agree in what she's saying in the dynamics of like women might not hire the woman because of other aspects that they're worried about and whatnot. I hear that. But yeah, I think that there's a different type of support. Like men's relationship with men are different than women's relationship with women. And also like biologically, we are different too. You know what I mean? Like that has a factor to deal with it as well. And so I think the barrier usually within men friendships is just a societal projection in what they learned, truly. Yeah.
Now, this next question I'm going to ask you guys is obviously it's going to be biased because you guys are women, right? But it's an interesting thing, and I'm just curious of what your responses are going to be. So, as a woman in a relationship, what do you feel like you bring to the table?
I'm like, why are we questioning that?
It's just, and the reason why I'm asking, because it's a lot of men. Like I said, it's a lot of things that falls to the wayside. A lot of men just, it goes in one ear out the other, or it just goes unnoticed. So, I'm just, giving you that space to put it out there. That's all. I know us men, we get asked that question all the time.
Go ahead, Tiffany.
If you had asked me that some years back, I'd have made a list. Oh, I do this great, and I'm blah, blah. Now, what do I bring to the table? No. I am the damn table. I built the room. What are you bringing? What are you bringing? Yeah. That's the thing.
I thought you was really asking. Jeez.
I am the prize. So and it takes, man, it takes, you got to know who you are.
Yeah.
You got to know where your worth is at. To the table, I'm the chairs. I built the room.
Mm.
This is why we have a
Mm.
table. So I need to know how you gonna step your game up, and what are you gonna bring in so that we can have some more chairs at the table. I am the room. So
I
yeah,
love it.
and like I said, that takes knowing who you are as a woman, and it took some time. Like you asked me some years back, oh, I cook good and I'll work and blah. No, yeah, nah, I am the room.
Yeah. I love that. I am the room. Jaime?
That's why I said, why is this even a question?
Yeah.
Because like it goes back to that whole factor of having to prove. Like, I don't need to prove anything. You know, if you don't see me as a value, then we shouldn't even be in a relationship.
Right. I got you. Because I know a lot of women ask men that question all the time, and you know, I know half the time, not even just saying myself, but from what I be hearing when women ask men, sometimes I be like this, oh, how he gonna answer? And for some reason, you know, you women y'all so tough because a man get there, they'll start spewing out their responses, and they be like, I bring this to you, I bring that, and the woman say, what else? And that's what I get a lot. I hear a lot of women say, and what else? So I don't know if a lot of women are looking for something in particular, but I don't know. It's like no matter what we say, women always say, what else? So I don't know.
I think they're looking for, what are we going to be building? What goals do you have? What is your long-term vision? Because if it aligns with mine, we can build an empire. But if it does not, we might be wasting time. And I think that as men and women, as we progress in life, we don't want to waste time.
Yeah.
So that's what I think a lot of women mean when they say, what are you bringing to the table? We don't want to waste no time.
Yeah.
Time is something you can't get back. I mean, it's precious. And if your goals and your visions don't align with what I'm trying to build over here, then let's part ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think exactly like what Tiffany's saying, but also too, like, we've had history, you know, they're looking for those points as well. Like, am I going to put myself in this relationship that I did previously? And like Tiffany said, I don't want to waste time. Like, it's no shade or anything like that. We'll just go cordially, you know, but I think it's like, I don't want to have to be in that situation again. So I'm going to ask these questions and being able to like be informed. Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard, especially nowadays, man. I think a lot of people struggle with evolving, right? Because the time is definitely evolving. The times is just changing from year to year. And it's just overall it's getting harder. You know, like you said, relationships. You don't want to deal with something you did in the past relationship, and that's another thing that's like unfair. It's weird because like I know for me in the past relationship, I don't want to have to deal with that either. That's why we're moving on, trying to get something new and start a new relationship to not go through those things. But it's hard because you never know a person's true colors right away. You know, it takes time, and a lot of people put on these facades, so it's hard. Sometimes it might seem like you're wasting your time, but what about you getting to know somebody and they're holding back, right? Because I know to you it'll feel like it's a waste of time because you're not getting that person 100%, but that person is being vulnerable. That person is afraid to give their all because of a past relationship. So that's what I'm saying. It's one of those things that's hard when we talk about being afraid to jump out in the fire because of a past relationship. It's hard. You know, so I don't know.
I think too, like for me, in my experience anyways, I built relationships off of potential. You know, and because I saw the best in them, I saw where they could go. I saw like everything, right? And that was different from what I actually experienced. And it was kind of like, I'm waiting for that person to get to the point of that potential, because I know that we could be really amazing in that dynamic of things. And it's like, it's okay that you're not at the same level that I'm at, but I'm not waiting for you to get there. Like, I've already been there, done that. And I think that it is important. Like, we can always project and like go through our mind of like what a relationship's going to be like, our next relationship after we get out of one, right? And we can work on ourselves in different types of dynamics, but also there's things in relationships that we can't just go into our mind and predict that's going to happen. And those coping mechanisms are going to come up, like you said. Like, I'm afraid of being vulnerable, so I'm going to witness and observe you to see if I feel safe enough to be able to open up to you. But it's also, I trust myself to be put in these situations to be able to be open and vulnerable. And if I'm not, then I need to work on the relationship with myself and my own trust and my own connection.
There it is.
You know?
There it is.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I love that. See how you guys don't even know each other. Y'all just come together. It's just like, y'all just like women are just naturally, y'all just like naturally just like here with each other. Like, and I love that. I love that. So, all right. Anything else you guys want to share before we wrap up? Shout outs to anybody that's important to you, in particular, women.
I do.
Go ahead.
Again, to my Alicia Joy Coaching Academy. Hey y'all! Whenever y'all watch this, hey Venus and everybody, Eldorated, my sister, Erin, if you're watching, hello. And to all the women, if ain't nobody told you you're beautiful today, I'm telling you, you're beautiful today.
Love that.
Yeah. I just want to say to like all women out there, like, you are so worth it. You're so worth it.
Right.
And I love you. Yeah.
I love it. That's great. I love it. All right, so that's going to conclude today's episode, though. You guys have been great. It's an honor and privilege to be graced with your presence. You're more than welcome to come on future episodes or whatever. Stay in touch if you want to. For the viewers, continue to like, share, comment, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and you'll stay updated with any new content that I drop. Yeah, like I said, that's it. Stay blessed and have a great rest of the night.
Bye.
Bye.